Hi everyone, today we're gonna talk about Reckless and the downfall of second novels for debut authors. Let's go. First of all, I want to say this video is not a bash of the author, it's not a bash of Reckless in itself or the industry or whatever you want to call it. It's more, I guess, a positive criticism of the pattern that I see more and more in debut novel. I really like Powerless, which was the first installment of the series. I thought it was very fresh. It really reminded me of the Hunger Games, which, you know, was a big thing. I was on it, and yeah, then I read Reckless, and I was a bit... It was not giving what I thought it would give, okay? If I have to say like a girly. Yeah, let's talk about why. This video will discuss the three main weaknesses that I've noticed reading this book, and to be honest, I kind of see in other books of debut authors. Again, this is not a bash. I want to be a debut author, I guess, at some point. So, you know, I think it's easy to fall into those traps, and let's discuss in the comments as well what we think, okay? The first main issue is the plot / the relationship. What I mean by that is that in the first book, Kai and Payden, sorry for the accent, but yeah, they kind of grow their feelings, they don't really act, lots of feelings, lots of tension, you know, but yeah, nothing happens, right? I thought they both kind of want something to happen. They never actually do it because I guess they're scared that one of them is gonna die. And I guess Payden knows that at the end of the day she's kind of cheating, right? She's not saying who she really is, so she can't really commit herself to a relationship. Maybe I'm just, you know, thinking it too much, but anyways, that's what I thought. The second book opens with Kai essentially chasing after Payden, which is a different setting. Essentially, there is a pull and push between Kai and Payden, and it's fun for a while, and at some point it's not fun anymore. There is only so many times I can read, oh my god, I'm gonna kill you, oh my god, I'm gonna stab you in the back. At some point it becomes repetitive, okay? Like, I've read it enough. For example, the kiss, okay? This is vaguely... There will be a couple of spoilers, okay? So if you have not finished the book, I would not advise watching this video, but let's talk about the kiss. I felt that the first kiss was there because it had to be. It didn't need to be there. What I mean by that is that, you know, sometimes you read and you have this chemistry, you have this... It naturally grows, right? It's organic, I think that's the word. However, I was reading the scene, I was like... But I didn't need to be there. Like, the scene doesn't... It doesn't seem right that it's there. I think I'm not the only one that felt like that, but, you know, I could be wrong. The main issue of the book is the plot. More so, the lack of plot, okay? Let's be honest between us at some point, you know, between you and I, let's be honest, right? Essentially, I felt like I was reading the same 60 pages over and over and over again, and at some point I don't want to read them, right? There are only so many ways you can say, again, like I've just said 2 minutes ago, oh my god, I'm gonna kill you and stab you in the back. At some point it gets repetitive, and the writing really fell flat. What I'm trying to say is that essentially Robert, so the author, I felt like she really relied on her characters and just put them there, and that was it. That was the plot. The plot could be summarized in 2 lines and you would not need to catch up for this whole book, which means something because the book is like 400 pages or something. It's a bit long, right? It's not that long. 400 pages is not the worst, right? I'm reading another book that's like 600 pages and I'm struggling for my life because my attention is just that bad. But anyways, so if I can give you an analogy, it's like England playing football at the Euros. It's essentially Southgate put all, you know, all the right players, all the characters, all the main characters on the field. I was like, yeah, you guys have it, figure it out. And that was how I felt during the reading of this book. I was like, okay, Kai is there. Kai honestly saved the book, because even I was starting to get really a bit annoyed with Payden. I was like, okay, what are you there for? Like, what are you doing? What's the plot? And the fact as well is that this book is marketed as a romance fantasy. I don't know where the fantasy was. I don't know where it went. It's gone, it left, thank you. And the revelation, I mean, what was supposed to be revelation, it was foreshadowed so badly there was no revelation. Like, I read it, I was like, yeah, I mean, yeah, kind of guessed that one out, huh? So yeah, the writing, the plot was just not there, okay? Secondly, the writing. Let's talk about it. The writing was a bit, okay, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, right? I really liked the first one. First one was cool. I mean, it was not high literature, but it was cool, right? Okay. I was reading the second one, and I felt myself cringing a couple of times. Sorry, please don't bash me. What I mean by that is that there was a lot of cliche situation, a lot of cliche sentences, and a lot of repetition, right? But we'll get to that at some point, I think, with the third discussion point. I do want to say maybe I'm possibly a harder public than a lot of people reading this book. What I mean by that is I'm not trying to shit on anyone, but I've read for a while. What I mean by that is that I've been through my Wattpad phase, I've been through my fanfiction phase, I've read a lot of romance, so I got all the cringiness out of me by the time I was 16, okay? So that I'm good. I'm done. And I'm not a big fan of like cliche or like, well, I mean, there are still some cliche that I'm like, oh my god, there was only one bed. You know, I grew up on fanfiction, you know, it always works on me. But anyways, that's not the topic of the situation. The ending. Let's talk about the ending. Because to me, the ending was not great. What I mean by that is that it felt to me like the plot had to get something happening, and then the author was like, yeah, that'll do it. And just threw this plot line that didn't actually make sense. The only way for me to make sense is that maybe, okay, this is a spoiler, okay, but maybe if Kit thought, hey, you know what? It's better that she's my wife than her being dead. Right? Right, brother? I'm a bit... feels a bit flat, okay? Doesn't really work. I'm not feeling it. I will read the third one, I'll be honest, but it's... yeah, I'm not sure why the plot needed to go there. Third point is the editor work. So when I was reading, well, when I finished Powerless, I did read a few Goodreads comments that were saying, oh, the editor here didn't really edit. And what I mean by that is that apparently there were quite a few typos and weird sentences. And I'll be honest, I didn't notice it reading the first one. Maybe because I'm not native language. English is not my native language, as you can hear, it's French. However, when I was reading the second one, I did notice some weird stuff. Some sentences were really weirdly constructed. Like, I had to read them twice to be like, ah, yeah. And not because they were complicated, they were just weirdly constructed. There were a few typos, and there were... I can't remember the typo, I should have edited them, but here and there, yeah, the plotline didn't... I think were a bit weak. So, for example, the ending I mentioned, but for example, when Payden is rescued in the desert and the guard is carrying her in her arm and then tries to kill her when he realized that she has silver hair. Oh, she's the silver savior. My guy, did you not notice that she had silver hair while carrying her ass? Like, how does that work? Like, doesn't compute, you know? All in all, it felt like Reckless was a missed opportunity. It was a bit of a waste of potential because Powerless was really good. I think it was, again, it's not high literature, but I think it did the job that it had to do. It was entertaining. That's what I wanted to read. Cool, great. Okay, I will be reading the third one, like I said, but I am hoping that some things will be revised. I'm hoping that the editor work will be maybe better. Again, I'm not an editor, so you know, it's a bit rich for me to say this, but yeah. Have you guys noticed anything a bit funny with Reckless, or what did you guys think of it? Do you want to fight me for this opinion? But yeah, talk to you soon in the next video.